You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning to Apartment 5B podcast, hosted by your man Kel. I got my squad with me in effect as always. I got my brother Rel from Philly up in here, bro. Talk a little bit about the album, bro.
Yo, glad to be here. Again, the album is called It's Not You, It's Me. It's on all streaming platforms. It's on my Bandcamp. It's fire. Totally produced by my man Kill. It's so crazy. Like, I was playing it for my people at work. And they're like, yo, who made these beats? I said, that's my man. That's like the dude that came into the comedy show with the bit. It's like, for real? So it's been getting love for the people that's giving it a chance to listen to it. I've got all positive feedback. So if you don't fuck with it, don't fuck with it. But if you listen to it, I promise there's something on there that you're gonna like.
No doubt. And what's the Bandcamp?
Jarrell, Jarell 215.bandcamp.com.
I got my brother Vegas out of BK. What's going on, fam? Talk about the album. I love being here, having two MCs that I love who are dope, and I produced both their albums. We both got them out at the same time. I can't talk about how dope that is. But Vegas, talk a little bit about Best Style Vintage.
All right, man. 30 years of rapping. Was not playing. Not really my my number one gig, but over the years kept writing, kept recording. Me and Kill linked up. Well, we knew each other way before this, but we linked up years ago just on some fuck it, let's just make albums. And Best Style Vintage, the album, is the sixth project we worked on. Again, it's all about celebrating hip-hop, but also celebrating us coming together, and obviously, like I said, to open me writing for like 30 years of in hip-hop. And like this album, compared to what we've done in the past, probably has less concepts, because I like a lot of concepts and ideas and creativity, but I just chose to spit on this one and take it back in the days. Dope features on there like my homie Woods, and also me and Rel on there, total package, talking that good shit. You know what I'm saying? With your bum ass rhymes, niggas. I see y'all niggas out there, but you know what I'm saying? Just showing dudes this is like Rel said on the track, effortless. So Vegas World, inc.bandcamp.com, or you can listen on any of the streaming services like Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal. So
all right. And here's something that a lot of people don't know. I'm working on Eddie's album right now, man. We doing the LA Philly canal. I'm just fucking around. Eddie don't ride.
I was going to say, what?
I was say, hold on.
Eddie don't ride. What's going on, Eddie? Good to have you back in the cup, big.
Yeah, man, I'm good, man. I'm good. Now I don't rhyme, man. But, you know what I'm saying? I had to go across to our neighbors, man. I linked up with the R&B representatives. So,
right.
we got that, Catch That Mini out, Monifa episode. So
okay, that's dope. Monifa was dope. All right, y'all know me. Let's jump right to it. So from the app we did a while back when we were talking about, I think it was when we were talking about the kind of making your favorite albums into like movie trailers or whatever, movie synopsises. I think that's where this came from. To be honest, y'all, it's been a long week. I'm tired as hell. But the moral story is this week we talking about hip-hop what ifs, which we've done before in the past, but we want to talk about if these things actually happened, what would have come from it. So I want to shout out my man Jonathan Moran. That's Johnny JONNYMO 8013 at Twitter, on Twitter. And we were talking about he said, yo, Suge bailing Pac out, like, how would that change the trajectory of hip hop? And that's where I kind of came up with the concept from, like, damn, like, yo, what would have happened if Suge did not bail out Pac? So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be going around. Everybody has some scenarios. I'm glad it's a small show this time, so we can kind of all chime in on everybody's scenario, because here's a dope thing. Some people may agree, some people may think, yo, it'd be the total opposite of what somebody said. So I'll set us off with the Pac thing. So to me, Pac was in, so if Pac doesn't go to jail, my first reaction, I mean, if Suge doesn't bail Pac out of jail, and he does his time, I forgot how much time he got, but if he did all his time, I personally don't think Pac rhymes again. I think Pac comes out and is just on his active kick and is just doing that 100%. May drop an album here and there, but I think Pac really just goes all in on the acting. Now, here's the thing. Words Born of Jesus. I didn't do any research before I felt that way. Then I was like, yo, I remember Pac was in Vibe back in like 95, because I remember I was up at Strictly Hip Hop, and this what threw me so much when I saw Suge bail out Pac, and he was talking all that shit. They was on the video shoot for California Love, and he was talking all this shit. And I'm like, wait a second, last time I heard from you, nigga, you was in Vibe like Thug Life is Dead and wearing the fucking circle glasses and everything. So that's what really threw me about Pac, because it's like, yo, nigga, the last time I just heard you say something, it was this is dead and da 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 da. So one of the wonderful things I love about the net is I went in and I was able to find the interview. It was a Kevin Powell interview, who's a very dope writer. Kevin Powell was on the original Real World, if y'all remember, out there with Heather B on that first joint, but he's going on to be an amazing writer and everything like that. And I hear some of the interview. They were saying, what are your plans after prison? And he said, I'm going to team up with Mike Tyson and Shamika Shakur and start an organization called Us First. I'm going to save these young niggas because nobody else wants to save them. That's why, to me, Thug Life is dead. If it's real, let somebody else rep it, because I'm tired of it. And he kind of talked about how, he even went on to say, Suge does bail him out. Oh, that's the other thing I said. I thought he'd write a book. I thought he, would become an author, a lecturer, similar to Chuck D or something like that. But then he says in the interview, rapping, I don't even got the thrill to rap no more. I mean, in here, I don't even remember my lyrics. You know what I mean? So it's kind of crazy to hear that, because like I said, I had already said I don't think he'd be rapping. He'd probably just be writing books, be acting, and then to go back and read the interview and hear him say, I don't even got the thrill to rap no more. I don't even remember my lyrics up in here. It was kind of crazy. But Rel, what about you? What do you think would have happened with Pac if Suge doesn't bail him out? He has to do his time in jail. What do you think happens?
I see him more as like a activist. Like I feel like he'd have been on that type of time and acting more. I don't think and I think the potential for the whole East Coast, West Coast thing not even being really a thing. Because I just feel like that Suge bailed him out. He felt like, if somebody bails you out of prison, pays all that money, he felt obligated to him. So, and then that environment and what they were, like, all of that played, like, influenced his actions when he got out of jail. And I think if that wouldn't have happened, I don't think he would have went in that direction. He was like a, I mean, we all are like a contradictory, you know what I mean? Part of us is this way, part of us is that way. And he's like a real big example of that. But I think he would have went in that activist direction more than what he did when he got out with Suge.
All right. Ray, what about you?
I think he still would have been a rapper. I also agree that I think he would have probably leaned a little bit more into the acting a little bit more also, as he kind of was doing anyway, in the real scenario or whatever, of things that really happened. But I also agree, I think continuing as a rapper, he would have been more like Tupac post death row, and to your point, more conscious with his lyrics, because it was always there. I always thought that article, and when he came out, what he was saying in that article was just a reflection of him probably feeling boxed in, and just, you know, like probably having like mood swings like that, where he's just like, fuck thug life, I'm gonna do this and this. Then to come out and just decide you're gonna be thug life, and you know, talk about, you know, getting at your enemies kind of thing. One scenario I think could have happened if he didn't get dropped from the label. Not that he did, but like, you know, during that time that they wound up dropping him. Depending on like the beef situations and stuff like that, I think somebody else would have signed him, and it might have been Puff, to be honest, because he was really keen on having like the bigger artists, because he wanted Nas, he wanted Mostly Talib, he wanted Ghost and Ray. He kind of wanted to have that kind of a staple, and it would be stupid to pass up Tupac, who was a bigger artist than Biggie at that time, even being locked up. So I think there's a number of things that could have happened, but you know, what happened kind of set the tone for the future, and then the rest is history.
All right. And what about you, Eddie?
I agree. I agree that he would have probably written a book, or, you know, definitely with the activism. With the activism, I could definitely see that. But as far as the music, to kind of piggyback off of what Vegas was saying, I think there could have been a bidding war. You know, very very easily could have been a bidding war, like, you know, and he would have been in the driver's seat, and in that situation, he gets to make the kind of music that he wants to make, right? Because if there's a bidding war for an artist, you know, you can have your artistic integrity. You could dictate the terms of your deal. So, I you know, we might have got to see a much better Tupac, you know. But
all right, no doubt. Bro, what you got for your first joint, bro?
My first one is kind of on the same subject, well, a little bit. What if someone was actually hit with those shots from the New York video when they were shooting, the video in New York, and I don't know, Big said something, and then the tour bus got shot up. If someone of significance was actually hit, I think it would have been out of control at that point. Like, it would have been really, like, it got bad anyway, but I think it would have been really bad if that happened, because that would have been like a first, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, just like, and I don't know what it would have did for Big's name as well, because people would have been like, yo, you sent them to do it, you know what I'm saying? It would have been outrageous if that would have happened, and it just was, you know, fortunate that didn't happen. But it would have got out of control. Like, it would have been bad if someone would have really got hit with those shots, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, like, because like I remember how I was feeling, and I know people that ain't even involved was like getting themselves worked up and involved in that shit. Cause I remember me being mad, like, why they in New York doing that? They disrespect, you know what I'm saying? And I got caught up in the shit, and I ain't even involved. So that was the biggest issue with it, was people that ain't even involved getting caught up. So it would have got out of control if someone would have got hit, in my opinion.
Nah, I mean, that's a dope joint. And I mean, I totally agree. I mean, you talking about Kurputp, Daz, you know, Snoop. If one of them got hit, you know what I mean, God forbid died from that, like, yeah, it would have been, I think it would have been out of control, bro. I think it really would have been like a real war. Like, yo, East Coast artists can't go out west. Like, West Coast artists can't come out east. Like, it would have been like a line drawn in the sand. Like, one of my kids, it was a situation. Somebody from my hood did something to another hood, to another kid at a school. I'm trying my best not to really put too much out there. In the school, we had to go get all my kids out of the school who had nothing to do with the beef. Like, they ain't even, but the school didn't care. the hood had done something to somebody, and it was like they didn't care if you was part of this beef, they didn't care if you was in it or not. Just if you was from that hood, and we had to literally go get all our kids and get them out to school like ASAP. And I think that's what would have happened in a situation like that. It would have been like a Tribe Called Quest, like somebody who don't got nothing to do, who ain't saying nothing about the West Coast, would have been able to travel over there. So yeah, that's a crazy joint too. What you think, Vay?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it would have been a real East Coast, West Coast war, and not something that, you know, the media is trying to contrive between two rappers, because you have Big basically sending up the flag, and then there's going to be retaliation because, you know, rappers got hit from the West Coast. So yeah, that was only going to go but one way. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And what about you, Eddie?
No, I agree because, you know, even with the, like Vegas said, contrived East Coast, West Coast things, and I know it was certain individuals that were having beefs, but there were artists like Tretch was still cool with, you know, West Coast and all that, right? So there was still MCs from both coasts that were still cool with each other, but I do think it would have been like, okay, now you really got to pick a side, but it would have been a lot of, you know, allegiance, a lot more bloodshed probably, you know, and I think it would have just been terrible for hip hop, not only because of the obvious, you know, people dying, but just the image of hip hop might have been something that we couldn't recover from.
Right. Yeah, that's a good joint, bro. That's a good joint. What you got for your first joint, Vay?
For my first joint, I probably mentioned this before in a different way, but now we're saying what would happen. But again, if Q-Tip kept all the beats he gave to Mobb Deep, Crooklyn Dodgers, and Nas, and it was Tribe album, and it was No Consequence, and Beats, Rhymes, and Life contained some of those beats with Fife as their fourth album, I don't think we're having that break in Tribe's success, to be honest, because it would be difficult to see. So first of all, the beats would be crazy, and two, you know, you would assume the chemistry wouldn't break, you know, between the two. So yeah, that's the only thing I can see happening with that kind of production, like One Love and World Is Yours remix and Crooklyn Dodgers and all of that. It just would be crazy. You know, you could just take that outside production and damn near put another Tribe album together, and it would have already been crazy. So yeah.
I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I think it would have just made them that much doper. I think the hard part is it's almost like because I know so many people who look at Tribe as the GOAT group ever. You know what I mean? Even with their discography the way it is. You know, so it is one of those things where, like, even if we got a fourth, even if Beats, Rhymes, and Life was another 5 mic album, it's like, I don't know if it changes much because so many people already, but you know what? It just solidifies them even more. They will probably have even more saying they're the GOAT group ever. Like somebody was saying that about, and it may come up, so I want to talk about it, but the Flood with RZA, you know, it's kind of shit. It may come up. It's on my list. This is how slow-mo I am this week, y'all. But I'm like, I know people who already say RZA is the GOAT producer, but if the Flood doesn't happen, I think even more people say he's the GOAT producer. So yeah, that's definitely a dope joint. What you think about that, Eddie?
For me, I had something similar, which I won't say. I think this scenario is better, but I would add one piece that I had in mind, which is if Fife also never moved to Atlanta, right? Because I think that caused a lot of division within the group. You know what I'm saying? Like if they were both in New York, kept the beats, didn't bring Consequence in, didn't bring Dilla in, because I think that might have been part of why Q-Tip did all that. You know, they might have been kind of falling apart already you know. So, but yeah, like if Phife was still in Queens with Tip, you know, they were still hanging out. They kind of still had that connection and kept all them beats that he was making for other artists. Hell yeah, that would have been another classic.
Yeah, Ro, what you think?
I agree. You know, you just got to remember what album Beats, Rhymes, and Life followed, which was Marauders, which is, I don't know, like the argument for Low End and Midnight is, you know, but for me, Midnight is one of my favorite albums ever. You know what I'm saying? And when Vague was just listing the songs that Tip was producing outside of the group, it's like, god damn, like that, it probably could have been crazy. And then,
bro, Temperatures Rising, Give Up the Goods.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Drink Away the Pain.
These beats is crazy, and I'm just like, you put that on another Tribe album, and the continuity is still there. You're not replacing, you're not adding another 5 mic. That's a hell of a 3 album run right there, from Low End to you know, Beats, Rhymes, if that was what happened. So I totally agree. That'd have been crazy.
Even the Crooklyn beat.
Shit. Yeah, that Crooklyn beat. And the crazy thing is, now I see why. I can now understand why artists get mad when they produce for outside people. You know what I mean? Because it's just like, I'm even thinking about Gangsta Bitch. And Gangsta Bitch came out, I want to say, before Midnight. And that beat for Gangsta Bitch was perfect for a Tribe song. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just like, I could probably only think of the frustration where it's like, you know, it's like we Apartment 5B group, and you like, god damn, kill that beat you gave West Coast Vern. Like, nigga, you ain't let us hear that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's just like, damn, man, like, because you give it. Tip was giving away some heaters. He was giving away some smoke. So, Eddie, what you got up for your first joint, fam?
All right, my first joint, I got to go back. So, you know, I got the Watcher here, you know what I'm saying, since we doing What If, you know. If y'all, like, comic heads, you know, the Watcher was in the What If comics. He was watching the whole MCU, all the different timelines and all that. So my what if Melly Mel never wrote The Message? And so think of the impact, because not only that he wrote The Message and the lyricism that he had, what he was talking about, right? Talk about the streets. You know, hip hop was pretty much a party genre still, right? You know, you had Sugar Hill Gang and Funky 4+1 and all that shit. You know, so he wrote The Message. Not only he wrote it, but it became a hit. Now, other hip hop artists, other MCs, they're saying, all right, now I could do, you know, take that example. I could write about my experiences. So maybe someone else comes later and writes a song like The Message. Maybe Kool Moe Dee winds up doing it. Someone else, who knows? But you know, I think if that doesn't become a hit, now it stays the party genre. I think eventually it gets to that point, but I think it slows down the progress of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, you know, does LL come out, you know, when he did, you know, rhyming the way he did, you know?
Right. I think one thing about The Message too, and when we gotta give love to Duke Booty, who is on the song with Melly too. You know what I mean? Like, we never talk about Duke Booty. You know what I mean? You know, and for people watching who may not know, Duke Booty is on the song with, yes, his name is Duke Booty. So he's on the song with Mel. I know, just for me, I remember my pop buying the 12-inch for The Message, and my pop didn't like hip hop. So to me, that, just thinking about it now, lets me know that The Message got to people who weren't even into hip hop. You know what I mean? Because my pop was straight 80s R&B, coming home with Freddie Jackson, Anita, all that stuff. And then he had Grandmaster Flash of the Furious 5. I'm like, yo, like, so I think, to your point, the song was so big that it reached people who didn't even like hip hop. So I don't know if hip hop even grows to a point for labels to take a chance on, like you said, well, not really a run because we have Rick Rubin, but maybe not on a Curtis Blow who got the first, you know, Capitol deal or things like that, based off of that. So that's a real dope joint. What you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree, man. The crazy thing about that song, like when I, you know, go back and listen to it, like as an adult, like he really like to be talking like that, like the imagery he was talking about and the experience back then was crazy. Like that like spawned like a lot of later people and with a whole nother genre of reality rap, like because that wasn't a thing at that point. Like I was thinking back of the year that came out, I'm like that was crazy, and it became a hit talking about that subject. Like that wasn't no party song, dog. That was real life, you know what I mean? And it became a hit. It was crazy. Like I think, you know, sometimes like we forget, like not us, but some people forget how like monumental that song was. Like, so I totally agree.
Greg, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with everything y'all said, man. I think with that record and it being essentially like reality rap, it probably had, even though there were other songs probably more so by soul singers like Marvin Gaye that spoke to things that were happening in the world, you know, it was the first time hip hop was doing it, something that was considered to be a fad, something that was going to be over soon, like disco, and it gave it some gravitas, it gave it some grounding. Also, when I was a kid, I was like, damn, crazy lady living in a bag. Like, god damn, like that's there's poor and then there's that shit. Like, how you live in a bag? But like, it's one of those things where that was New York. And, you know, even though I was a youngin', I remember that New York. I remember the, you know, just crumbled building and just debris is still there kind of stuff with the wild dogs. So it just shined a light on things that a lot of people already knew about New York City or poverty in general. But they just did an excellent job of, you know, basically telling people about it and how crazy it is and how they're so close trying to survive to going over the edge. So, yeah, that would have changed. No Public Enemy, I think. Like, how you get Public Enemy's not getting signed with that kind of content, you know, they would have to make party records. So.
All right, no doubt. The next joint I got up, it's a good one, I think. What if Nas loses to Jay-Z? So we talking about the Takeover drops in 2001, and it looks like Nas is dead in the water. Out of every human being I knew on this planet, the only nigga who's still rocking with Nas was my barber. Shout out to my man Lee. He was the only nigga. And Rel, I know you said you was rocking with your niggas, but I didn't know you back then. Only nigga I knew was Lee. Everybody else was like, oh, that nigga Nas dead. So Nas is dead in the water. Then Ether drops December 4th, 2001 on Jay's birthday. And we know what Ether did. But if we turn the tables and Ether drops on Jay's birthday and it flops, I mean, it's crickets. Nobody is feeling that shit at all. For me, Nas now knows he's done. I wouldn't be surprised if Jay does a B-side concert in NYC called The Bridge Is Over and fucking throw more dirt on Nas. And I'd fucking get KRS. Jay-Z would have probably got KRS to perform The Bridge Is Fucking Over at The Bridge Is Over concert to make it even worse for him. I think Nas knows the only way to save face, because here's the positive of this. The only way he can only come back is if he does another Illmatic. He does another Illmatic. He gets the same lineup, because this is what niggas been asking for since Illmatic dropped. So I think even with Nas being dead in the water, and if everybody giving up on Nas, if word gets to air, yo, he's back in the studio with Premier, with Peak, Tip, I think that would give him enough, like, oomph to get back in the game. But at the end of the day, I still think we don't forget about Takeover and Nas kind of, you know, I think he becomes, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful manner, but you know how like G-Rap will put out an album and it kind of comes and goes, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like Nas would be like that. Like a Nas album would come out and it would come and go. Same thing with this Rakim album that just came out. Prior to this Rakim album coming out, hey, Rakim, I ain't heard nobody say fucking Rakim's name in the past 4 weeks. So I feel like Nas would have became like that. Like it'd be like, oh shit, Kool G Rap coming out with an album, or I can't wait. Then fucking shit drop Friday, and by Sunday it's like crickets. So Vague, you have a personal relationship with Nas, Ill Will's cousin. What do you think happens if Ether just flops? Yeah, you got the t-shirt on right there. What happens if Ether flops, man?
Let me, because this relates right to it. I hated Nostradamus. I thought it was garbage. Right now, I could tell Nas could still rhyme on that album, but the beats and the hooks, and we know kind of why it happened with the whole leak stuff and kind of rushing. So I always knew he could still rhyme, even though I didn't like that album. When I heard the Takeover, specifically that verse, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was in my head, because I'm not like get on my knees, but I was like, yo, well, it's over. It's over. The run is up. It was good, but it's up now. Because that Takeover beat, Jay-Z was dropping the album every year. He was a monster. He was all over the radio. He had New York in the palm of his hand. And if Nas doesn't come back to show people who he is and why Jay-Z should respect him, it's over. Because, he could have dope rhymes, but if it don't hit like that, the masses is already trained that Jay-Z is king. And now he just proved it. Now, to your point, I don't think that's the end of Nas for good. I think he just goes on and makes music or whatever, but he may take a hit personally because of the loss, which could affect his lyrics, his other choices or whatever. And I think he just becomes, a dude who had a dope first 2 albums, then started to decline, had the battle, lost the battle, and then people probably lost interest because back then, you ain't getting many chances. Right. You were already old by your 3rd album to most hip hop fans. So yeah, I don't think we get no Hit Boy run. We don't get none of that. We don't get none of the Nas comebacks and go talk, like nothing. Shit. Will we get Belly? I don't know. Belly was already out, right?
Yeah, Belly was out. Belly was out before the joint, but yeah. Rel, huge Nas fan. What happens? And I'm not just talking about. I'm talking about it's crickets. Ether drops, and it's like if a tree falls in the wood, doesn't make a noise. Like it's like that.
Right. So that's crazy to even think about, because I just remember when Takeover came out, I was at Coppin, and people was teasing me to no end, bro. Like I was ready to scrap. Like they were teasing me. It's like, your man's is done. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, how you coming back from this? Like, I wouldn't say it to them, but in my mind, I'm like, yo, what? Because like I like the song Takeover. I like the beat, everything, and I'm just like, yo. But they teased the hell out of me. So Ether kind of like was like Christmas when that dropped for me. You know what I'm saying? So if that joint flopped, I don't know what would it. I almost said like it'd have been like The Bridge Is Over Part 2, man. Like it'd have been like that, dog. Like, and I don't know who could have like resurrected it if he took that L. You know what I mean? Like I never really thought about that. Like it'd have been like The Bridge Is Over Part 2. That'd have been another major L. It'd been Shan Part 2. And I don't know, and I don't know like how people would have looked at Nas in totality if that happened. Like, cause I don't think the Hit Boy stuff happened. I think he's looked at as like, man, I don't
think
know.
about it like this. It's almost like, think of how people were looking at Nas after Takeover. Like everybody was like, he's done. Like it's a wrap. Like so, and then if he comes back and tries to do something, in his crickets, then you know now Jay's on the radio laughing. Dame is still in pot, so you know Dame is talking his shit. Like everybody is just now we cracking jokes at the nigga. Like you know,
Jungle would have lost his mind. Jungle probably been in jail if that.
Yeah, Jungle would have probably shot somebody. So, but you know, because think about like with Takeover, we weren't making fun of him. It was just like, oh shit, damn, this nigga Jay just got at that nigga. But if you drop a diss coming back and it's whack, now we making fun of you too. Like now it's not just we don't fuck with you. Now it's like, oh, now you a cornball nigga like that. You know what I mean? So it definitely would have changed hip hop. Eddie, what you think, man?
I agree. I think it wouldn't have been the same Nas. I mean, I think who Nas became after that, like what he did on Stillmatic and Godson, right? How he was rhyming, and I don't think we get that Nas. I mean, I think we see a Nas who maybe like you guys are all saying, you know, fan base is starting to question him. All right, you know, just still got it. I think he starts making some moves out of desperation. Maybe we do get the Nas premiere album, but you know we're getting it because he's trying to do something to appease that fan base to kind of excite them. All right, so if it's not Illmatic Part 2 proper, it's like, hey, here's that Nas premiere album you wanted. You know, maybe he pulls a Mobb Deep and he signs to G Unit or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, crazy John. Rel, what you got up next, bro?
This one I don't know if people going to agree with. If Big did not pass, there would have been an eventual conflict between him and Jay-Z. I feel like just based off of I know like when he passed, it was like Jay was like picking up that I'm gonna be that, you know. But I think if it would have continued just off the personalities of the people, like it would have been, I feel like it would have been an eventual clash of some sort, not an all-out beef, but I feel like it would have been an eventual like war of words between the two. Because it can only be one, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Jay would have just been cool with just being number 2, you know what I'm saying? I just don't see it in him, you know what I'm saying? So, and you know how big, you know, so I feel like it would have been an eventual war of words. I don't know how serious it would have got, but it would have been something, in my opinion.
I agree 100%, man. Like Jay said in that XXL article, when I knew Rockefeller was done, there's only one presidential suite. And me, Dame, and Biggs all can't stand there, you know. And it reminds me of Marlo when Prop Joe told that nigga I treated you like a son, and Marlo was like I was meant to be the son. You know what I mean? So I feel like with Jay was never gonna be okay with being second up. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm sure you know. Which is why you know the I Love the Does and Brooklyn Finest, and anytime those two got on the track, we got high caliber from both of them, you know, especially Jay, because it was like, I'm sparring with the best right now. And it's like, truth be told, I'm sure if Jay and Dame wasn't plotting on Big Spot, you know, like, yo, how can we overtake this nigga? Like, you know what I mean? So you following Big's formula, you know what I mean? As far as, you know, Song for the Radio, that whole second Jay album is just a whole fucking broken fucking science project of trying to perfect what Biggie was doing. You know, City is Mine, I Know What Girls Like, fucking Sunshine. That's just them trying to perfect it. You know, like Jay said, he ain't get it until Money Ain't a Thing with Jermaine Dupri. He was like, then after that, I kind of understood how to do it. So to me, he would have always been plotting. You know, so yeah, I definitely agree with you. There would have definitely been some shots thrown. Hell, I felt like it was shots thrown with Biggie dead. So it was definitely gonna be shots thrown when Big was still alive. You know what I mean? So Eddie, what you think?
I think there would have been shots thrown. I think there would have been subliminal. But the interesting thing is, right, because Big wanted to form the commission, right? And Jay-Z was supposed to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So if he has the commission, it would have been interesting because I feel like Jay would have been taking shots on songs that they did together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There would have been all these subliminals going on. And it would have been interesting to see how it blew up. You know, that might have been the story. You know what I'm saying? The commission forms, they're taking shots, it blows up. Now we have a war between Jay and Big.
Right. And it's funny, Big, I'm going to get to you. I just thought about this. I think the thing with Big, even from the analogy to Prop, Joe, and Marlo, I felt like Big would have been the boy like, yo, you my man. So it ain't no competition. Like, it's all love. Like, you my man. I feel like Jay would have been the one. Like how Prop Joe was like, yo, Marlo, we good. And Marlo was the one that was like, nah, nigga, we ain't good because I want the plug. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like it definitely would have been coming from Jay, also because Big had the throne. You know, so it would have, but I personally don't think Big would have been like, it would have been like really competition in his eyes. It would have been like the commission. It would have been like you said. It would have been like, yo, let's do something together. Like we good. I'm in the fucking Ain't No Nigga video. I'm in the fucking Dead Presidents video playing Monopoly. Like I'm thinking we crew. You know what I mean? Not really knowing that you really just plotting on me to try to get what I got. Vay, what you think?
I don't think Jay-Z would be who he is because honestly, well, just to double back, Big was endorsing Jay-Z because he kept talking retirement and he kept saying how he thought Jay was better than him. Like Big was saying that because he was thinking like, I'm not trying to escalate my rapping skills. Like I'm trying to get this money at this point. So I just want to start this label and move on in that direction. But Jay-Z benefited, and you know, not like that was a goal for him, but he benefited from Big being gone. If Big's not gone, there are a lot of people not checking for Jay at all. Like, you know, we may have been listening to Jay with reasonable doubt and all of that, but Jay is no different, and it's no disrespect, but he's no different than AZ because New York was Big or Nas. Jay-Z put himself in that conversation. The fans never put him in that conversation. And he did that when Big was gone. So I kind of feel like I don't think it would have been competition. I think the Jay and Nas thing was always there, but the Big and Nas thing was more competition and more subliminals that people know about. Whereas Jay was just kind of feeling some kind of way because, you know, all these invitations to Nas and he just wouldn't come through. But nah, man, the way, like, again, I love Jay-Z. I'm a big fan. I got all his albums, everything. But he ain't never had Brooklyn the way Big had Brooklyn. So Big's here, there's no way he usurps Biggie. Unless Biggie puts out some complete garbage and we like, yo, we over here with Marcy now. But yeah, I think they would have continued to complement each other and do business. Maybe Jay leaves the Rockefeller situation quicker and just links up with Big on some business shit. You know, who knows? So,
what you gonna say, bro?
None doesn't get stabbed. How about that?
Yeah. And one thing I was like, you were saying, like, trying to find that formula, like life after death is like the perfect example of that formula. Like it's like the perfect, you know what I'm saying, the way that album's constructed, the balance between the street songs and the more commercially acceptable songs, like that's album is the perfect balance of that. And I feel like now thinking like Jay was trying to get to that, and it'd have been interesting because Veg is right. Like Big was like that guy. Like I don't know what Jay could do to unseat him if he was alive. Nothing. I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying?
To me, it's almost like when Steph and AI both got drafted in '96. Similar point guards, both from the hood, both was hip hop. Both were one of the few people who had tattoos at the time. Like they literally were the same player, but everybody loved AI. Like that was just it. There was no way Steph was ever going to be bigger than AI, and that motherfucker tried. Let me get out of Minnesota. Let me go. There's just no way. The love that we still to this day have for AI. You know what I mean? That's how it was for Big. You know what I mean? So to me, there was never going to be a day that Jay was going to be bigger than Big, unless Big just fucking retired.
Yeah.
After life, after death. You know what I mean? Like the only way Steph that was going to be bigger than AI is what they got drafted in '96. Let's say AI retires in 2000. You know what I mean?
One
like,
way.
that's the only way. What's that?
There's one way, and this wasn't going to happen because. So the only way would be Steph winning in New York with the Knicks. That wasn't going to happen because the situation. I don't even think that would have made him bigger than
Iverson was a global icon. I mean, when you really think about what Iverson did, like I remember showing up to the '98 draft party and seeing all the tattoos AI had, and I was like, I'm getting a tattoo tonight. There were people that didn't get tattoos before AI. People wasn't rocking the shooting sleeve before AI. People didn't have the cornrows before. I mean, he literally changed the game. So Steph could have won 4 chips for New York, and y'all niggas would have loved that motherfucker. But the world loved AI. Like y'all winning a chip in New York don't mean shit to niggas in Jersey. Like, so there's no way that it goes over. I mean, you hear everybody talking about, you hear like, I think it was like that Dwayne Wade age group, AI. It was all AI. We liked AI. We watched AI. I've never heard none of them niggas be like, Steph. I've never heard anybody. And again, please understand, this is no disrespect to Steph. Steph was a hell of a player. I've been following Steph since he was at Lincoln and Coney Island. But what AI just did to the fucking Reebok answers, the questions, I mean, the commercials, him and Jadakiss, like, there's no NBA TV at Rucker Park without Iverson. There's no and one without Iverson. There's nobody talked about the crossover, right, you know, before Iverson. So, I mean, he literally changed the game. So, y'all would love him. Y'all would be like Steph. There'd be a statue of Steph in New York and not China, but the global world would have still been fucking with AI. Like, you know, and I think it's the same thing with Big. I just think we just love Big because Big, like we said, Big, well, I know for me, Big seemed like such a cool motherfucker. Like, I never got that from Jay. I never looked at Jay like, yo, I want to hang out with Jay. Like, Big just seemed like the type of nigga you would see at a game. He'd be like, yo, come on, Playboy, just come on, chill with us. Like, Jay-Z is not inviting us over to go sit by him at Madison Square Garden. Like, 4.0, 4.6, nigga. Like, nigga, you broke niggas, get the fuck out of here. Like, so again, like, it's just Big had all that love. And Jay just didn't. Not that niggas don't love Jay, but again, I just think that was it. So I do agree with you, right? I do think there would have been, you know, he would have tried to come for the throne because he wanted the throne. Big had it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you see this big ass statue I would pick up right now, but I'm too tired. It's Big sitting on the throne. We ain't got no statue of Jay-Z sitting on no throne. I ain't even seen a picture of Jay-Z sitting on a throne. I ain't seen a graffiti mural of Jay sitting on a throne yet. So, you know,
it ain't his. It ain't his, man.
Yeah.
Don't belong to Nas.
Vay, what you got up next, bro?
I know I got some GOAT talk before we even get to the GOAT talk.
All right.
Similar to what Eddie said, with LL, what happens if he doesn't make I Need Love? Right? Because now I don't think anybody else could have made it, because I think it wasn't just him making a love song. I think it was, this nigga was a heartthrob, a teen heartthrob. He got the perfect heartthrob video for it, right? Like, he mad young, all the girls are screaming for him. He got the girlfriend, he hugging like 37 times, spinning his bitch and shit, like hibachi shit. like the whole video, it was, in his personality, it was just so much that came along with that song, besides the fact, the choice and flow, you know what I'm saying? You know, obviously the beat. And I think, like the message, it just opened the lane to say, for one, we could definitely rap about this stuff, and two, there's a huge market of success when you make it for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going platinum. You're doing this and that. It's ladies like the hip hop stuff too. But if you do this, you're crossing over without crossing over. It's still within hip hop, and I think it just opened the lane for not only every rapper who's done some form, probably except for like NWA and Public Enemy. They was like, fuck that, we make what we make. But everybody else for the most part has made some version of a quote unquote love hip hop song, almost standard. But what happens if LL doesn't? I don't think guys don't talk about girls in songs. I just think I don't know who would be the person that would make that song that would have that level of success to make it feel like it was almost mandatory. So you may not even get it the majority of the time. I know who you don't get. You don't get Father MC. That's for damn sure. That's all he did. Even though Little Sean wrote his shit, I'm kind of hurt by that. But whatever.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. I think L was the perfect storm because for people watching who may not remember, hip hop love songs was out. You know what I mean? Like before I Need Love. Like my favorite one, Heavy D, Don't You Know? That was off of Heavy D's first album, which was crazy. MC Shan had Left Me Lonely. You know what I mean? Sweet T had what was that shit called? Why was it me or whatever? I got it down. But Sweet T had a dope ass slow jam. But I think, like you said, Vay, it was just LL being a heartthrob. You know what I'm saying? And also having Def Jam the Machine behind him. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know about Heavy D's Don't You Know? A lot of people don't know about Shan's Left Me Lonely. A lot of people don't know about Sweet T's Why Did It Have to Be Me? I think that was the name of it. Like, that was straight up slow jams. We ain't just talking about a girl. No, we are talking about hip hop slow jams, like straight slow jams. And I think L, it's crazy because while you're talking, I'm just like, yo, why didn't more people do it after him though? You know what I mean? Like they talked about girls, but I'm just shocked that the same way with NWA. It's like, oh damn, cursing in hip hop did it. Everybody go curse. I'm shocked more people didn't attempt a hip hop love song after I Need Love. It's almost like I Need Love stopped it. Like they were doing it before it, but then they got up to I Need Love, which was the biggest hit, and then everybody just stopped doing it, which is weird, like coming to think about it. But because you would think.
Well, I think I know why, because a lot of them niggas ain't like that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They saw that as some sucker shit to kind of make a slow jam. So I guess they retooled it to make the girl song that they want, you know what I'm saying, versus.
And you know what, Van? You make a great point because we're talking about 87. Label execs weren't sharks yet. They weren't the sharks to be like, I apologize, nigga. I'm not asking you what to make. I'm telling you what to make. You know what I mean? So that's a great point. Like, label execs wasn't there since the niggas was like, that shit is soft. I ain't doing that shit. And label execs was like, okay, cool, don't do it. Like, but if that shit would have came out in 1990, nigga, Ice Cube, we may have had a whole nother world-class Wrecking Crew reunion with NWA. Or with some, you know, when you turn off the lights part 2, because an executive would have been like, nigga, I'm not asking. I'm telling you what the fuck to do. So, great point right there. Rel, what do you think? You a big L dude.
Yeah, so I got a question. Like, who was the brains behind that? Him taking that route for that song. So that was
that's still Def Jam. I don't know if that's Rick Rubin or Russell. I've never heard this story. I hated the fucking song personally, so I've never done any research on I Need Love or like who like kind of put it in his ear like you should do it or I have no idea.
Well, LL did a interview today on Hot 97 in the morning, and they kind of talked about it, but he just kind of made it seem like he was always trying to do a bunch of different things, and he thought he was good at that, and he was like, this is real life. So, you know, what's the difference between talking about something like The Message, which is real life, and talking about, you know, talking to a woman who I care about. So I think he was just trying to make the point of being transparent as opposed to make this for the ladies and then we'll have success, because you know they didn't really know it will blow up in that way.
Okay, because it was the perfect storm, bro. Like, he was the perfect person to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he was a young heartthrob, and then if you like thought that, like, you know, a lot of people didn't like that shit, and then made them like not like him or want to come at him and think, but then he'll get with you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you, right. Oh, this nigga doing that, and then you diss him, and then he bites your head off. You know what I'm saying? So right. It was just perfect. It was a perfect storm. It had to be him. If it wasn't him, I don't know who it was. Could you imagine Cool G Rap making "I Need Love"? It couldn't have been. And I mean, yeah. And like Veg said, even in the video, like the video was perfect because it showed what was really going on. Like fathers ripping down your posters out your room and everything like that. So you know there was mad shorties at home like, oh, that's me, like envisioning them that they was in the car in the limo with LL or whatever like that. You know, so and even at the end when we all know this shit ain't true. Niggas got the chicks in the jacuzzi like, nah, man, I need to call my girl, man. Like, nah, nigga. Eddie, what you got up next, bro?
Oh, I was gonna mention with this.
My fault. If I ain't get I'm trying not to go in order so everybody ain't waiting longer.
Nah, it's all good. But no, well, first of all, his name was Ladies Love Cool James. You know what I'm saying? So, which he himself said was a prophecy. So I mean, you should have seen this coming. But you know, I think, you know, bringing a joint for the ladies, but also on that album, that's Bad. Like that's on Bigger and Deffer. Like he had on Bad, he had 357. Like he had joints on there, so it's not like you could clown this dude because he's like the sharpest lyricist out. And I mean, what you gonna do? I mean, he made a song for the ladies, man. Can't hate on him. Yeah. My next one though. What if NWA never broke up? And I'm talking about after the first album, right? So Ice Cube left after the first album. I think Dre left after the second album. I think Ice Cube leaving created that whole chain reaction. And I know there was shit going on with the business side of it, Jerry Heller, all that stuff, right? But if NWA never broke up, we don't get Ice Cube. We don't get the Ice Cube that we got. We don't get America's Most Wanted. If Dr. Dre doesn't leave next, we don't get the Chronic. You know what I'm saying? That means, do we get Death Row? Probably not. No Snoop Dogg. Aftermath, Eminem, 50 Cent, G Unit, all that shit. You know, and I want to say probably Dr. Dre, maybe eventually he decides to go off and do his own thing, but it wouldn't, you know, the timeline wouldn't have lined up, right? So we don't get Snoop Dogg. You know, if we don't get Snoop Dogg, I don't think Dr. Dre, like, he had his whole Aftermath. And remember, when Aftermath came out, I kind of felt like that shit was flopping a little bit. When he had that I've Been There, Done That joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
remember he had that.
Yeah, it's fucking
horrible. Horrible. It was horrible. when he was dancing. He was dancing in the video, ballroom dancing.
That shit was trash.
So the reason why Dr. Dre had some leniency with that is because of what he did before. You know what I'm saying? It's because he brought us Snoop. You know what I'm saying? He had the Chronic and all that. If he don't have all that, you know, it becomes harder for him to do all that he did. You know. So then the other thing is obviously Easy. If Easy had AIDS, he was going to pass. Like, I still think NWA could have kept together even without Easy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get together, make like a tribute album, whatnot. But I think after, you know, definitely after Ice Cube left, that was it. You know,
Yeah.
I just got the ball rolling.
It's funny, I got a joint similar. I got to shout out my man Haran from went to high school together. He said, "What if Cube didn't leave NWA and Ruthless Records?" You know what I mean? And I was saying, if Cube stays in NWA, I think Niggas for Life is talked about just as much as Straight Outta Compton is. But I was saying if he didn't leave, but he then leaves when Dre does. So not like staying together, like, you know, that they leave Ruthless, because they do find out that Easy, because yours is more so about NWA not breaking up. This was more like about what if Cube didn't leave when he left.
Got it.
You know, so I was saying that Cube then leaves when Dre leaves and basically does everything Snoop did. So I'm like, I think we get Cube doing deep cover. You know, we get the Chronic, but Cube is doing all of Snoop's parts. And then Doggy Style is finally Cube's debut album. So we don't get a debut album from Cube all the way until 94, because he basically takes what Dre was doing. But I like yours too.
No, I like yours too, man.
Yes, yo, I like your style. See, we on some J shit. We say what he say to B, like, yo, I like your style. Nah, nigga, I like your style. You know, cool, nigga. Here's $1,000. Gee, I ride with you for free. But I think the whole thing too with if NW, because I feel like Niggas for Life is only a hip hop classic to certain people. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who don't talk about that album at all, and I think it was because Cube left. And I think Cube had so many fans. I didn't realize, like, a lot of people who really fucked with NWA really fucked with Cube. You know, so when Cube left, when Cube left, they kind of tapped out. I know a lot of people who never heard Niggas for Life because they was like, Cube is going, I'm good. You know what I mean? So I think Cube and them staying, I definitely think that changes the trajectory of everything. You know, because like you said, we don't get America's Most, we don't get Death Certificate, we don't get all of that. And I'm curious, are people like Vegas and Rel as big Cube fans as they are without those albums? You know, and he's just still part of a group, you know, and getting a 16 instead of having these complete bodies of work. So it definitely throws everything. It throws hip hop in general just off its axis if that happens. You know, Veg, what do you think? Do you think you're still a big Cube fan if you don't get a Cube solo album and he stays in NWA and kind of just, well, one, how about this? I loved NWA. In fact, I liked Ren better than Cube. So when Cube left, not to say it didn't matter to me, but that's why I was so tapped into Niggas for Life. But what about you? Were you still tapped in for Niggas for Life after Cube left, or were you more of a Cube fan and once he left, you was kind of done with NWA?
No, I was a fan of both because I liked Ren a lot too. So I liked NWA. So I didn't really like just kind of go with Cube because he was gone, you know, even though he was my favorite out of the group. It was just more so me checking out both. Right. Because, you know, when I heard Niggas for Life, I ain't like all that slander, that Ice Cube slander. I was like, damn, why they dissing him like that? But yo, to Eddie's scenario, I think we talk about NWA more because if you don't, like, I think a lot of those ideas Cube had goes into NWA. There's ideas he had on his solo album. So whether it's solo records he has on NWA albums, that's like Who's the Mac and stuff like that, I think a lot of those ideas get incorporated into the group. I still think Snoop is discovered because of how he was discovered. He wasn't put on because of Death Row. He was put on because Warren G is Dr. Dre's stepbrother, and he brought him to Dre. So if Dre is still with Ruthless, if Snoop is still dope, he still brings him to Dre. It's just a different situation he brings him to, and he could just be another artist like DOC on a label. Now, do you get the G-Funk era? No. Because Dre's not inspired to make a different sound that's separate from what he did to NWA, and I just don't see him being able to do that sound with NWA, even though probably would have sound dope, you know, to hear Easy and Ren and them kind of do some laid back stuff, but I don't think that happens because of the type of group NWA is. But you're right, because when you think back, as famous as NWA is as a group, they really only have 2 albums, and you know, and the EP. But people forget the EP. So,
and to be honest, I feel like it's really off of just Straight Outta Compton. Because again, so many people haven't even heard Niggas for Life, and there was only one video released for Niggas for Life, Always Into Something, and that wasn't, you know, I mean, I like the song, but that wasn't like one of the best songs on the album. So it's really crazy that they're looked at. I know people who say NWA is the GOAT hip hop group ever, and it's really based off of one album. You know what I mean? Which is really fucking crazy.
Right.
Sitting here saying that, you know what I mean? Like, that's really crazy. And I also wonder, does Dre, even though Warren brings Snoop, is Dre like, yo, I'm over here with Cube. I don't got no time for it. Take your man across the street. Like, we focused over here. You know what I mean? Because it's funny when I hear people say stuff like that. Like, I forgot who it was. Like, I think Q-Tip was like, I don't have time to work with Rod Digger, and gave it a Buster. Something happened like that. Like, when there's times where people like, yo, my hands are full. I don't have the time to do nothing with them. Give them to her. You know, send them around the corner. So that's interesting. Rel, what about you? Did you tap out of NWA when Cube left?
I actually did not. Even though Cube was my favorite from the group, I'm like, yeah, I liked Ren. I like Ren too. I feel like Ren was vastly underrated. You know what I'm saying? And then I actually checked for Niggas for Life because they had a video for Appetite for Destruction.
Oh, they did? That was the joint they had? I thought they only had one.
Yeah, they had a video.
Too. They definitely had one for Always Into Something. I thought the reggae joint, the reggae boys chanting during the chorus or some shit. I don't know. Forget. I'm tired, y'all. Don't pay no attention.
So I was checking for it, but it's strange, man, because like I was Cube. You gotta remember my age at that point. So like when I heard the beginning of Cube's verse on Straight Outta Compton, I was hooked. Like I was like, yo, this. And so he was my favorite, but I still checked for NWA after that. And it's crazy hearing y'all say like it's off really 1.5 albums, because I mean,
and most people never even heard the EP. You talk again. The average person doesn't even know what 100 Miles of Running. And the craziest thing is, I was looking through my CDs. I didn't even realize I didn't own this. So I just copped this. It just came in the mail today off of Twitter. I had to pay like $30 because I wanted the original from fucking 1988. I didn't want no remastered, nothing like that. But yeah, it's basically all off this album.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, I'm up next. The next joint I got, we could go to the obvious that we all talk about. What if RZA's Two Floods never happened? I think Meth's Tical is a 5-Mac classic, and it changes the way we look at Meth. I feel like Meth is always, Meth is cool, but he don't got a classic, he don't got a classic, he don't got a classic. So I feel like it's almost like the Patrick Ewings, the Charles Barkleys, you know, the knock on them is always, y'all don't have a ring. You know, Shaq can always fuck with Charles every Thursday night because, nigga, you don't got a ring. You can't sit at this table. You know what I mean? So I think that's the way, it changes the way we look at Meth. Deck's debut is a classic and changes how we look at Deck. I don't know. I think we look at Deck, and I'm glad we give him the accolades for this, for being one of the dopest MCs to setting off rhymes. I think I've consistently seen that, which is very dope to see. But I think Deck could be so much more. But because we don't have, you know, the classic album, we don't have that. I think that now solidifies RZA on hip hop's Mount Rushmore. I don't think he's solidified there. I think some people say he's there, some people don't. I feel like that solidified because now you're talking about 36 Chambers, 5 mic, Tical, 5 mic. I personally think Return is 4, 4.5, but if somebody gave it a 5, I ain't mad at it. The Purple Tape is 5, Liquid Swords is 5, Iron Man is 5, Deck is 5, and if Wu-Tang Forever is 5, that's 8 5-mic albums, you know, in a row. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how he can't be now solidified as the GOAT. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? So I definitely think that happens if the floods don't happen. What you think, Eddie?
Yeah, man, I think definitely Method Man's, because, you know, I'm one of the ones who like Tical, but also admit, like, as much as I like it, it's not 5 mics, you know? And it very well could have been. I think everyone was expecting it to be, which is why people were disappointing. And so that was the first. That was the first joint that was released. So you set it off with a 5 mic.
No! What happened? No, what happened?
Tua
again. No, bruh.
What happened to him?
He got a concussion again.
Where his hands is, they're like because Tua, this is like his 3rd one.
Yeah.
NFL, and it's been bad. Like, he might be done after this.
He should be done, because that wasn't even like no crazy hit or nothing. It was just he slid with his head, which he shouldn't do.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy. Ooh.
Yeah, that wasn't even that crazy. But for him, yeah, he out. He out too. Damn.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, no. Niggas know we record on Thursday, so
yeah.
I had money on the
Bills, man, but you know, for
you
sure.
have money on the Bills. This nigga. What you saying, Eddie?
Nah, I'm saying for sure, man. If we get that 5 mic Meth album, and I think, you know, I think there would have been a lot more momentum for that Deck album. You know, number one, having the right production. Number two, having the album just come out when Deck was the hottest. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, by the time his album came out, like, people weren't really thinking of him like that. But that album came out when Deck was his hottest, in the midst of all the Wu-Tang albums when it was supposed to. Yeah, I definitely agree.
I think it's hard too. I think if they were all on the same label, it would have been set up better. But them being on so many different labels, you know, because it's almost like, yo, they should have been dropping 2 albums a year. Like Meth, you get the first 6 months. Dirty, you get the next 6 months. You know, Ray, you get the first. Like, you're dropping 2 a year, but because they were on so many different labels, like, you really don't have no control over that. Yeah. Vay, what do you think if the floods never happened?
I agree. I think that Method Man album is very different. I think we get a way better Deck album, especially considering when his album was released, it was like the second wave of solo albums, and that whole vibe of the Wu had already died out for the most part, or at least you know, the expectations were lowered at that point in time. But I can only assume what was there had to have that same vibe and flavor with the beats, with the rhymes, and it's probably why it was tough to recapture it, because, you know, it was in the moment kind of thing. Well, damn, at least he walking off.
Yo, Vegas, I don't know if it was you who mentioned it, but I heard some rumor that the original Deck album was supposed to have like a, you know how like Ghostface had the Iron Man theme? I heard the Deck album was supposed to have a Spider-Man theme with like the samples and all that shit.
I saw that too. I saw that online.
Yeah, I think I heard that back in the days, which is crazy when you think about it, because you can see Inspector Deck really doing something with that. But to your point with RZA, I already have him on my Mount Rushmore, because just 36 Chambers and what he was able to accomplish, that was so different from everybody else. But like you said, if you're talking about like eight classics in a row,
if you do all the 4.5 to 5 mic classics in a row, that's a run. That's just, now that's like some Tom Brady numbers. Like, you can't. Right. There's nothing that you can. I mean, I could sit here and nitpick, you know, but at the end of the day, like, that's just a hell of a run. And again, I'm not even saying for him to be the #1 producer ever. It's just he's solidified on that Mount Rushmore, because there's a lot. I mean, he's not on mine, so like, there's no way I can't put him on mine if this happens. You know what I mean? So, and Rel, what you think if the flood don't happen?
Yeah, I agree with everything y'all said. He's solidified. He's already on a lot of people anyway. And think about like what a 5 mic Method Man album would have done, like based off of like his popularity already and what the expectations was for him and his star power. A 5 mic Method Man album would have been crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
it changes. Veg, you made a great point. Jay put himself in that conversation because at the time, and I mean, people weren't necessarily saying it, but at that time, the 3 biggest MCs was Meth, Big, and Nas. You know what I mean? And you know, not saying we were sitting around on campus talking about that, but I'm just saying at that time, those would have been, if we were going to put 3 names in the ring, it would have been that. And the thing that kind of like made Meth kind of like, it's like an exit early out the tournament. Like what got him out of that conversation was, you got Ready to Die, you got Illmatic, and Tical. Like, nigga, which one of these kids don't belong here? Like Sesame Street, like Electric Company. Like, you gotta go, bro. Like, so if Tical is a 5 mic classic, he can stay in that conversation. And it may be harder for Jay to say some shit like who the best rapper, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Like, niggas really would have been like, nigga, ain't nobody talking about you. Like, nigga, we talking about Meth over here. We waiting for the new Meth album to come out. You know what I mean? Which now makes hip hop heads anticipate another Meth album and not anticipating it like, well, can he get it right this time? But like, yo, we want to see what else he could bring. So definitely something. Ralph, what you got up next, bro?
I have, if the DLC never got into the accident,
Got that too.
I just think we get another West Coast star to me. Like I feel like that his album was so good, but it kind of sometimes get overlooked because there was nothing to follow up with it. It was just that, and then the thing happened, and it just was like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people that got a chance to expound on his career and follow up with that, I feel like he would have been another one of those dudes, man. Like I really think he would have been one of those West Coast artists, not saying on the same level, but similar to Cube, to where a lot of the East Coast dudes would have been messing with him, like producer wise, and you know what I'm saying? Because I just, he had that type of that flow, and that, like, if you listen to the formula on that album, like, that's like, you know, if you ain't tell me where he was from, I wouldn't be like, yo, that's definitely a West Coast song. You know what I'm saying? That's just dope. You know what I mean? So I think he would have been one of them ones like that, like dudes from the East Coast have been messing with, and I feel like he would have been, I don't know if he'd have been a superstar, but he'd have been one of them ones to me, if he didn't lose his voice in that accident.
Yeah, I got that same thing. I got when Cube leaves, DLC joins NWA, certifies niggas for life as a certified classic, then comes with a diss song that's either doper or equal to No Vaseline, and then you get a DLC Cube war. And then similar to what I'm saying with Cube, if DLC never loses a voice, I don't think we get Snoop, because DLC just does the cover, the Chronic, and Doggy Style ends up being his sophomore album. And then, Rel, when you talk about why DOC's debut album is overlooked, you also gotta keep in mind, nigga, you know half these niggas out here think hip hop was invented with Illmatic. So anything before 1994 is like, you know, these young boys really think anything that came out in the 80s sounds like fucking Run DMC. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand how the lyricism grew. They don't understand any of that. They just, you say 80s hip hop to somebody 35 and younger, and it's just like, oh, nigga, I don't got time for that yes, yes, y'all stuff or whatever like that. So I think that's the problem why it does get overlooked too, because, you know, it came out in 88. Vay, what you think if DLC doesn't lose his voice?
I agree with the Snoop thing, for sure. As far as, because that was basically Dr. Dre's project. Snoop could get signed because Eazy-E's the one doing all the signing, so maybe Warren G is bringing Snoop to the label as opposed to just to Dre as his next guy up. But I agree, because I think a lot of his ideas probably went into his ghostwriting, you know. Right. So who knows what hits that we enjoy now from Dr. Dre and others that just would have been on a second DLC album or whatever it may have been. Also, like with DLC, he reminded me a lot of LL with the way he rhymed, like with that aggression or whatever. And yeah, just to speak real quick on why people forget, it's like he had that one album and it almost makes him feel like a one-hit wonder, even though it was out of his control. And you just didn't know what happened to him after that. Like, you know, most people didn't even know. I know I didn't know that was him on The Chronic with his voice sounding like that, you know. Right. I just thought he wasn't out yet with a new album. I didn't know he was done. But if he was, I don't know if he would have been like in some kind of GOAT conversation, because I don't know what his longevity would have been, things like that. But he's so dope. Dre could have did the G-Funk shit with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I could see DLC slowing it down and giving you them same vibes as Snoop. So yeah,
or Dre could have flipped it. Oh, my bad. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, or Dre may have flipped it where it been on some like Pharrell type shit. Like, you know how Pharrell just get a gut of shit to the clips and then give all the other shit. Like Dre may gave the G-Funk shit, but just kept, you know, feeding DLC just that gutter shit. You know what I mean? So, which would have been crazy. Eddie, what you think if DLC never loses his voice?
Yeah, man, I think easily, and I don't think it's a stress to say, I think they would have found magic again. I think at least one more classic album, you know? He was like, oh, you know, you can't say for sure. Bro, I think they had magic. I think they would have sparked that magic again, you know? Yeah, he could have been the centerpiece of, you know, the new artists that Dre will come to work with and all that stuff, right? He would have still been in the fold, you know, like Elder Statesman or whatnot.
All right. Vay, what you got up next?
Up next, I got EPMD not breaking up, but more so what happens with the Hit Squad as a result of them combining powers. So now you got Das and K Solo and Redman and probably still also Keith Murray and whoever else, maybe even Jamal, who knows, being a part of this conglomerate that's based off of EPMD. Like, you know, you don't get an album that's focused on the comeback, or they lose the chemistry, or they go get to, I mean, they may get to experiment anyway with solo albums, but I think that tree extends much further than it did, because when you think about it, when the split happened, you know, Das Effects kind of got the short end of the stick. Still able to do some things, but definitely didn't have the impact they had when They Want Effects came out. And PMD basically fell off the map, whereas Eric leaned more into production and production for others. Redman was a huge star for him. Keith Murray did a lot of dope stuff, but thinking about it all being together probably would have gave Das more wings, probably some dope records we just never got, you know, as a result of the posse cuts. Yeah, it could have been crazy. Who knows? Maybe you do get some of them Wu members up in the Hit Squad, and you know, because the more people you have, the more of a deal you can get, because that's what Eric and Parrish was on anyway. So who knows who all those people he shunned who get signed as a result of them having, you know, one of the #1 hip hop groups or crews in hip hop at the time. So
yeah, no doubt. I had the same thing. I had EPMD gives us at least 2 more 4.5 to 5 mic albums. Das doesn't fall off, and K Solo gives us at least 1 more dope album, because I don't know how much more that spelling shit was gonna fly going into the 90s. So we got 1 more left, and we got 1 more spelling bee album, nigga. Then you gotta get off that shit. I think we get a Hit Squad album. You know what I mean? Produced by Eric Sermon, which would have been crazy at the time. like Vegas says, I got Keith Murray joining the Hit Squad, and now the Hit Squad is looked at as a top 5 hip hop group. I mean, like squad or crew, like ever. Like they're legitimate. Now it's like, not saying they're Wu-Tang, but when we talk about Wu-Tang and boot camp and hip hop crews, like the Hit Squad is now like solidified top 5 type thing. So yeah, what you think about that, Eddie?
No, I agree with everything you guys are saying. Like, I mean, to a point, I feel like I don't really have too much to add to it because you guys covered all the bases.
All right. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, just naming all of those names together, because we know how the split happened, but putting all of that together and then bringing in Jamal and Keith Murray, yo, that would have been crazy. That would have been crazy. I remember it's a song on one of Busta's album where it's like Flip Mode versus Def Squad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that song is crazy, and Rampage was on it with Flip. I think it was Rampage, Lord Have Mercy, and Busta. Then it was Jamal, Redman, and
Keith Murray.
But think about the other groups that would have been involved in, like, those 3 was just super dope right there. But think about everybody else you just named. Like, that would have been a crazy conglomerate. And they probably would have went down, like you said, top 5 collectives. Mm-hmm. They'd have been looking at them like how you look at who's a collective, Native Tongues, or, you know what I'm saying, like that. So.
Yeah. And I would have loved to have fun with that Hit Squad album. Like, that's something I would have loved to executive produce. Like, I wouldn't just want 2 EPMD songs to die. I would be like, yo, Paris, you get on this track with Dre-Z and Red, y'all get on a joint. Like, I would have wanted to coach that shit up. So it's just not, it's 3 EPMD songs, 2 DOS Effect songs, 3, like, play with that shit. Like, really make them get together and do some shit. Eddie, what you got up next, bro?
Yo, I got, what if DJ Sub Rock of KMD didn't die?
I got that one. I got that.
So obviously the obvious is Zev Love X doesn't become MF Doom. We don't get MF Doom, this cultural hip hop icon, you know what I'm saying, that he became. We don't get that. KMD is still a group, but I don't know if they really blow up though. Like, I think
they got dropped. I think they got dropped before Black Bastards, because Black Bastards never came out because of the thing. So they didn't even have a record deal at the time when Sub Rock passed away, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with the dates, but I know that the album never came out because they got dropped because of the cover art of the album.
Yeah, I mean, so maybe maybe they try to shop another deal, or something. Maybe someone picks him up. I mean, there's still a possibility that Zev Love X, with all that creativity, there's a possibility he goes solo, but I think the motivation behind him becoming MF Doom, that's not there anymore. So, we may get something else from him, but we're not getting that. That was him in a dark place, basically becoming the villain just of all the shit that he went through, and channeled that. So, maybe they bounce back as a group, maybe he goes solo, but we definitely don't get MF Doom.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, I felt like, and here's the thing, I'm not a big Doom fan. I'm still learning, but it seems like, it seems like Doom was birthed, like you said, Eddie, out of a place of desperation and depression and anger and pain. And if his brother doesn't die, it doesn't come from that. It's almost like a karate nigga avenging his master's death. Like, you became so great because you wanted to fuck up the people who killed your master, but if they never killed your master, you still nice at karate, but you ain't the assassin that you are, because that's what fueled you to do that. Vay, what you think?
Yeah, I agree, because like you said, with KMD, even with their first album, they didn't really have that much traction. Like, you know, they had a couple of joints we like. I think Zev Love X had more traction on a Gas Face as a solo. I was about to say that. Yeah. Where maybe that's what happens. You know, maybe they retool. I would love to think that because of being dropped, because of feeling like you fell off and stuff like that, that you still get a Doom kind of situation, but with Sub Rock as a part of it, on some duo shit, on some Czarface kind of shit or whatever, which could be equally as dope, because you have two minds and two brothers thinking in the same way creatively. But as far as what we knew of KMD, which is terrible because that Black Bastard album is pretty dope, and it feels like it would have been ahead of its time, right? You know? But yeah, I don't think it would have happened, especially to where hip hop was at that time.
You don't get joints like this, the MF Doom joints, so definitely don't get that. Well, what you think, bro?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we get Doom, but we get something.
Yeah,
the creativity was just, you know, I think it's one of them things where like tragedy or hard time spawns like something magical, you know what I'm saying? And I think even with them being, like Vega was saying, even with them being dropped, I think it would have spawned into something else, but it would just been him and his brother. It wouldn't have been just him. But I think we might not have got Doom, but I think we'd have got something. So I don't think they would have just went away and just gave up. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they would have, you know, came up with something else, because the creativity was there. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that would have died. So yeah.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do, because for people watching, we got an album review coming up, and I want to get to that. So what we gonna do? Just go through what you got left, and we ain't gonna go around and all talk about it. But so what if Puba never leaves Brand Nubians? I feel like In God We Trust, Everything, and Foundation are all 4.5 to 5 mic classics, and then now in the combo 4 being one of the greatest groups ever. This is an R&B one. This is what started this show, not the movie synopsis. It was people who saved something. That's what started this show. So what if Johnny Gill doesn't join New Edition? Any Heartbreak isn't the album we know, and it's New Edition's last album. What if there wasn't a 97 versus us versus them war? And to me, that's the Daylight, the J. Rude, this and the Maces and the Bad Boys and all that. Not just think Daylight's solo stakes is high and J. Rude's Wrath of the Math are looked at in a more favorable light. Because I know a lot of people who never even heard Stakes is High, because hip hop is so deep to us, y'all. Some people watching that, when there's a line drawn in the sand, we stand on that line. So yeah. I know people who, I never heard Mace's album. I never heard Harlem. It could be the greatest album in the fucking world, but I was on that side of the picket fence. You know what I mean? So then there were people who I know who have never heard Rap for the Man for Daylight. So, you know, Stakes is High, because it's like, they, you know, because it was like, I'm on this side of the goddamn fence. Like, that's how much we love this hip hop shit. Like Rel said earlier, I ain't even part of it. These niggas kicking over buildings in New York. Nigga, I live in Philly. Fuck, I give a fuck. But it don't matter, because I'm on this side. I'm on Biggie's side. So that's what hip hop meant to us. That you had beef with Biggie, you had beef with us. You know, that's why Pac and Big was so powerful at that time, because they literally had a coast of people ready to rock for them niggas. Like, whatever like that. What if Kanye's mom doesn't die? We keep the old Kanye. 808 and Heartbreaks is more in the vein of Graduation. And with My Dark Twisted Fantasy, it gives Ye 5 back-to-back, 4.5 to 5 mic classic, and solidifies his discography as one of the best ever. What if Pete and CL never broke up? We get 4 to 5 more 5 mic classic albums from them. What if the industry never got rid of pro-black music and instead of gangster rap, PE, X-Clan keep dropping, and MCs like the Intelligent Hoodlum don't have to morph into tragedy to Gaddafi, and it opened us up the door for more new positive MCs to come into hip-hop and balance it more. So that's what I had left. Well, what you got left?
I only had a couple. I had a couple of ones you said. I had the Kanye mom, John. I think we get a different and we get a different direction with his music and his behavior. I had a Big L didn't die. What was my other one? I had a Big L ain't die, Kanye. I think that's it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's it.
Vay, what did you have left?
What if Malice stays in the Clips? As Malice, you know what happens with solo? I think you still get solo albums, but I think it's very different. I don't know if Pusha T, because I always thought Malice was better in the group. I always preferred him. You know, I didn't think Pusha was whack. But I think him being basically out on an island pushed his pen and his creativity to become who he is now, versus if they were still rocking together, you know, maybe they keep doing a group thing, maybe you get solos here and there, but I think as a group, they're probably mentioned more as being one of the best groups in hip hop ever. The other one is, what if the Dr. Dre and Rakim album actually dropped, with Rakim doing what Dre wanted? I don't think it would play out the way Rakim thought it was going to play out, unless he just wasn't really good at talking street shit. Because there was a way he could have did it, right? Like as a storyteller, you don't have to be the nigga in the street. You can just tell the stories like most gangsters. I think that would have done more for Rakim coming back than anything, because Dr. Dre is under that microscope of that Eminem effect, that 50 effect, like those eyes and ears are on Rakim now also, because he's a part of it. And I think he's just in a very different space than he is now, you know, making these bedroom beats or whatever the fuck them shits were. Shits was just sounding like, they don't sound whack, they just kind of sound like, man, let somebody else do that shit, man. Don't do them, man. Let somebody else do them, rock. But I wish it happened. But that's what I had.
All right, and Eddie, what you have left, big?
I got a few. What if Fonte formed, or what if Fonte tried to form Little Brother with Median instead of with rapper Big Pooh, how it was originally gonna be? And to be honest, I don't think the chemistry.
Pause. Who's Median?
Median was actually featured on some Little Brother stuff. Median is another North Carolina MC, was kind of down with the whole Crew Justice League and all that. I think the story is like he was basically flaky when it came to like studio sessions and stuff, and rapper Big Pooh was there, so Fonte was like, hey, why don't you hop on this record? I'm paraphrasing, but you know, basically how it went down, right? So if it was,
so he basically the fifth member of Boyz II Men who just got left, like, okay,
yeah. So honestly, you know, I don't think it would have been the same chemistry. It would have been a lot more rappy rap, because you know, Median is more rappy rap than rapper Big Pooh, and I think what is nice about Little Brother How It Is was their dynamic change. So I think Fonte winds up leaning more towards his solo and foreign exchange stuff, because you know, he still meets Nicolay, right? He still meets him online and all that. I still think that happens. So I think he leans on his foreign exchange stuff and his solo stuff. I had what if the I Am original double album came out the way it was supposed to be. You know, obviously, I think that would have been Nas's third straight classic album. I think it keeps up his trajectory, because you know, if you put out that album, it hits. Now you have that confidence. I don't really think Nas falls off, you know, with the Nostradamus we got. You know, I think he gets more confident in writing the way he wants to write. I still think eventually maybe Jay-Z comes after Nas, but it's going to be a lot tougher. You know what I'm saying? It's easier to
one hot album every 5-year average. Shit, you can't that line.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, obviously we don't get lost tapes, but we don't really need it. I had a flip of what if Biggie didn't die, but I had what if Diddy died in the car and not Biggie, and like, you know, what happens with Bad Boy Records, right? And obviously I still think Biggie goes off and does his own thing like he wanted to do with the commission and all that, and I think Biggie remains the king of New York. So that's that. I had what if Scott LaRock wasn't killed. I still think we get some hot albums, but we don't get the teacher. You know, we don't get KRS-One as the teacher, you know, because that was kind of where he made the shift, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get that type of message. What else I had? I had what if Tupac never moved to the West Coast, you know? What if he stayed on the East Coast? You know, I think he was still rapping, you know? Maybe, you know, I think that's a scenario because I think he was cool with Tretch. You know, maybe he's down with Tretch and, you know, they do something together instead of him being down with Digital Underground, you know? So, I think that's about it.
All right. And hey, I thought of one more. I forgot what you said, but it made me think of this. What if people may not know the story? Jazzy Jeff is DJing. He's practicing. Will comes over. Jeff's is calling the MC that he was supposed to be performing with or using that night at the party. He's not answering, and Will says, "Let me go." They kill it. This is how we get Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. What if Jeff's MC picks up the phone and it's like, "I'm ready to go." Like, we don't get none of the Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. We don't get Will Smith. We don't get Men in Black. We don't get him slapping Chris Rock. We don't get any of that Will Smith shit. And, you know, you just left there. In the same with, what if Freddie Fox actually went with Eric B to the session with Marley and Rakim doesn't go, and we don't get Eric B and Rakim, we get Eric B and Freddie Fox. So how does that game change? All right, y'all. Two of the biggest people in this room right now, two of the biggest LL fans I know. And I know a lot of fucking people. It's a gift and curse. But these are two of the biggest LL fans right here. This is an album that I know I've been waiting for. You know what I mean? I know those two have. I'm sure Eddie has too. This was around the time when it was like, yo, LL and Tip. And that's the part that pulled me in, was the Tip part. I'm not gonna hold you, because I was arguing with niggas on Twitter, like, nigga, ain't nobody checking for no LL album. And I'm like, you know what? I won't hold you. If LL just said I'm coming out with a new album in 2024, I probably wouldn't have been checking for it. But because it was being produced by Q-Tip, that's what pulled me in. You know what? I don't even want to go first. Bro, you set us off. What do you think of this LL album, man?
Okay. I like the album. I'm trying to find the right word. I'm like pleased, refreshed by it, I guess I could say. I liked it. And I like L's rapping was superb on it to me. Like it wasn't like it sounds motivated. He was motivated and he was rapping his ass off on his album. Now, the beats, I like the beats. They're not what I expected for LL, but they were different. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember, like, a couple of the songs when they came on, I heard the beat, I was just like, But then, like, when they would start rapping or they go on, I'm like, okay, it fits. But it was a Q-Tip produced album that I think would have sounded different if he did that for like Tribe or somebody like it was different for LL. Like, it was different types of beats that I never really heard LL rap over. But it was good, and it's like it's one of the best albums to me that came out this year. And it's coming from somebody that was rapping before I was born. So it's crazy. It says a lot. And I know, listen, you know, music hits people differently. So I know people that didn't like the beats on the album, and that's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? It all hits us differently. You know what I'm saying? But I like them. I was not expecting a lot of those beats for LL. They were just different than what I expected. But I liked it. I liked the album as a whole.
All right. How many mics you give it?
I'm at 4. I'm at four. It could be. I just want to see how long I'm still listening to it, which is good because you know, like a short attention span of music these days. So I just want to see it can go to 4.5 based on
the longevity of it.
Yeah.
All right, Vague. What you got, bro?
You already know. I'm gonna let y'all niggas know again. He the GOAT. Okay. Now. I felt like you know what I'm saying? Like when he first announced he was going to do an album with Dr. Dre, I was curious. I didn't know what it was going to sound like. I was kind of shocked that he was scrapping all of it. And this morning in that interview, he said they did like 30-something songs.
Oh, word?
Yeah. And I was like, damn, can we hear a couple of them joints? You know, let us judge.
Right.
But when he announced with Q-Tip, I think I felt a little bit better about it because it was Q-Tip. And even with Dre, it's sort of, well, maybe not Dre because he was trying to change Rakim up. But with Q-Tip, at least I felt like he knows who this is to people, it's to fans. And he would be in good hands in that regard. When I heard the album, like I agree with Rel, like the way he's rapping on here is just dope. You got the traditional LL, you got bars, you even got a song where he kind of reverts to his older style, almost like late 80s, it's almost like 80s style. And I really liked it. And he sounds crisp, he sounds the same, he sounds motivated, he has different ideas on songs. So I really love that about it. The beats, same thing. It was different for LL, and I wasn't sure how they were going to match, you know what I'm saying? But it worked in most cases to me. There were only a couple of beats where I was kind of like, I don't know. One thing about the production with Q-Tip on this joint is it's closer to the Last Tribe album, in my opinion. Not people who want Midnight Marauders and all of that. It's a lot like that last album. You know, Thank You for the Tip, Call Me Back, whatever the fuck the name that shit is. I always forget. But what I didn't like about that album is there are a number of songs where I really want Q-Tip to shut the fuck up. Because this is a LL album. Right. And even though on the Saturday night joint, it works for me. When that nigga start running back, I'll be like, skip. Because he messes up the song to me. It makes everything about the song just like, and this is Q-Tip, but this is LL's album. And it just made me feel like every time I heard him, it was like, damn, y'all don't know nobody else like that you could bring it. Like you got Snoop on the other one. You know, bring in another voice or let LL say it. And instead of like, it just kind of felt like, you know what it felt like? Like he had those beats, not all of them, and it was reference tracks, like how Swiss does. Like the beat's already there. I did not like every beat. I expected something different from the joint Praise Him production-wise with Nas and LL. I think they made it better because I was already like, this is Nas and LL together. What are you doing, Tip? Like, this ain't it. But their performances made me like it. Same thing with the Eminem joint. You couldn't have told me Eminem didn't produce that. I'm like, man, why'd you make this Batman Evil Carnival Riddler chasing ass track for it?
But everybody, why does everybody do that when M get on the song, bro? Like it's like some video game, weird King Koopa's castle. Every time he on the track, bro, where he's featured, I don't care who the artist is. They just give this weird ass beat when M's on the track, bro. Like, I don't get it, yo.
Yeah.
You get a beat like Renegades.
Right.
I don't get it.
Right.
I don't get it.
So how many mics do you give it, Vay?
It's definitely not my top 5 of the year, but I would give it 4 because I like what's there more than the things I don't like. And you know, like I said on my podcast when I reviewed it, also the way he ended it, because he talked about that this morning, like the vow, like the way he's spitting on the vow. I'm like, okay, you did with Q-Tip, get with Alchemist or somebody real quick and do that. But what I like mostly about it, because I didn't know, is the artists that are on there. He talked about it. He said, you know, throughout his career, what was the joint, Mr. Smith? The Posse Cut.
Oh, I Shot You?
I Shot You. Right? He said that was Chris Lighty's idea. So he was kind of going with the flow, but you know, he had to step up because who it was. But he said he was looking at like, well, that was really the first good look at Foxy for people. Another song he mentioned was like, that's the first good look at this artist and blah, blah, blah. So he was like, he just wanted to bring some MCs who weren't signed to him, who weren't really known, because he already had Nas and Eminem like that, to kind of give him some shine to spit. And that's how that track came about. And I'm like, that's crazy, because this is LL. Like,
right.
That could have been anybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 4 mics for me. I'm listening, but as soon as Q-Tip starts saying run it back, I fucking skip.
Eddie, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. So obviously been anticipating this. I was actually at the tour last year, you know, when he announced that he had the Force tour, which I think the only joint from this album that he actually played on the tour was the song The Force. But you know, came out a year later. I like the album. I don't completely love it, but I like it. The things I like about it, I like how LL is rapping on it. I like the subject matter, the variance of the subject matter, like how he starts it off with the spirit of Cyrus. You know, Saturday Night Special, even like what they're talking about, but how they're talking about it on that joint is unique to me. Black Code, Sweet, shit. I even like Proclivities. You know what I'm saying? I like the joints that, you know, people saying, oh, they don't like. I like the joint with Eminem. You know, the beat. I like how they're rapping on it. I even like Eminem's performance. You know, the Murdergram Do. I like that song. I just wish it could have, the album could have got closed out with the LL verse. Kind of, I'm thinking like Don't Curse. You know, Don't Curse, Heavy D set it off with a few bars, let everyone else rap, and then came back and wrapped it up. I would have liked for that to happen on that song, because I feel like the way LL was rapping on that joint, I wanted his voice to be the last voice I heard. But yeah, I think the beats were it was all over the place. Some of them I felt like didn't completely fit the songs. Probably my favorite beat on the album is Passion. But mostly I'm with Vegas. I think Q-Tip doing the hooks. Some of them were okay, and some of them just ruined the songs. But overall, I give the album 3.5 mics. And I'm a ride with the album just because there's enough on it for me to go back to as far as like LL's songwriting and the way he's rapping. And I'll see if it grows on me and gets another half mic. But right now I'm 3.5.
Yo, I'll say this. There was a time Trey had this single out for Glory, and I gave him the idea to have Guru and him have producers remixing. And they, you know, we remixed it. Y'all got on a joint with me. And Guru was saying how he liked the song. And he was like, but Kill need a little more dynamics in the track. But he said, yo, that's my job as the engineer. Kill did his job. That's now my job to make it sound bigger. LL did his job. LL came, did what he was supposed to do. I tell this in all my marriage sessions with couples. People always say, oh, I'm supposed to bring 50 and she bring 50 and we get to 100. I'm like, no, you're supposed to bring a motherfucking 100. You're supposed to bring 100 and y'all get to 200. It's two of you motherfuckers. So why would two people only come up with 100? So to me, even with Vic and Rel, I feel like I got to give 100. They got to give 100. You get to 200, now you got that 5 mic classic. Sometimes it teeters. Sometimes the producer may bring 50, the MC brings 80. Great example, group home out. Primo brought 200. You know what I mean? You know, or, you know, and Dappin' them didn't bring nothing. You know what I mean? So, and I like that. But like, so is that. I'm so frustrated with the beats. I think that's the thing that kills me. I feel like these beats, I put on Twitter like, yo, Q-Tip, how the fuck did you sell these beats to LL? Like, what did you say? Because I want to know so I can start saying that to people. Because if I sent these beats to any fucking body, ain't nobody picking these goddamn beats. They're not. No way. These beats sounded like they were beats for the, like Vegas said, for the next Q-Tip album. You know what I mean? And it was like, I got all these beats. Here you go, bro. And it is my expectations too, because when you say Q-Tip, we just talked about it earlier in the show. What if Tip, all those beats that we talked about made it to Beats, Rhymes, and Life? But here's the problem, y'all. Those beats was from fucking 1995. It's 2024. So, and it's my fault. I take the hit for expecting that I'm gonna get some hard ass snares and I'm gonna get some Crooklyn shit when that ain't been Tip. That wasn't on the Renaissance. I'm one of the few people who don't love the Renaissance. I thought it was a good album, but I know most people like love the Renaissance. I thought it was cool. Vague, what you said. I can't take Q-Tip. Like, I don't know why we thought his voice was so fly in 1995. Like, him doing One Love, it was like, oh shit, here come Tip. Oh, here come Tip. Like, when Tip would get on the rock, yo, his voice sounds like nails on a chalkboard to me right the fuck now. Like, after this, I don't even want a Tip album. Keep that last Zulu shit. I don't know if as we get older, we lose testosterone and his voice is getting higher. It's something, it's not the same. That nigga doing One Love and that nigga doing Run It Back is not the motherfucking same.
The thing is, like, you gotta know your limitations, bro. Like, he could have done something, but know your limitations.
But here's
Dude
the thing.
was trying to hit notes.
It was 20 times though. He was on it. I was like, yo, not again.
Right. That's where we get to, and I'm gonna talk about that. And it reminded me, I don't know if you remember when Rick Pitino was the coach of the Celtics and they were losing, and that nigga got mad. He said, "Look, Larry Bird ain't coming through that goddamn door, y'all." Okay, that's what I felt like. Goddamn Q-Tip, Crooklyn Dodgers ain't coming through this door. Like, this is not the album I wanted. I like Spirit of Cyrus. He's spitting the force. I didn't even know the songs changed. I didn't even know. I thought it was the same goddamn song. Saturday Night Special was cool. Black Cold, sweet. Number one, these are just fucking horrible names. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is a Black Coat? What happened just around the way, girl? Fucking cheesy rap blues. What the fuck is this shit? Like, this feels like some Q-Tip deep. I gotta fucking get a chew stick and a fucking thesaurus to figure out what the fuck is going on. I like L. L is killing this shit. On the she's in the kitchen cooking and killing it. And then this nigga Tip comes in with a chorus that has nothing to do with nothing. Like, nigga, what the fuck are you talking about? You do know that a chorus is supposed to have us singing along with the shit, my nigga. The song, it doesn't have shit to do with the song, it doesn't have shit to do with the chorus. And I swear to y'all, this is when I had the epiphany. Ev hates that last Tribe album. He hates it. And the second I heard that song, I said, this is why the fuck Ev hates that last Tribe album. Because Tip, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Passion, the song is good. I think the video helps it for me. I'm with you. What's the chick name? Is it Sorty or Sweetie? What is her name?
Yeah,
Sweetie.
The A is silent. I hate these niggas. I hate niggas. I even like that song. Postmodern, I can live with. 30 Decembers, I love it. I love the concept. I think that's incredible. Run It Back, Q-Tip doing the... I can't take it. I can't take it. Huey in the chair. Goddamn tipping. It's the red, black, and green. Huey in the chair. Performance Boulevard, Queens. Huey in the chair. Like, oh my fucking God. Seriously, y'all. Who was in the studio? Who said thumbs up? We love it. Like, and he's yelling at you. Like, I'm like, yo, please, nigga, please stop. Bro. Like, I am begging you. Basquiat energy. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Another horrible chorus.
Skip.
Praise him. Another Tip chorus. It's like, goddamn, I like it, but Nas comes in and saves the day. But I'm with you. It's like when I see LL and Nas, I'm expecting something beautiful. It was almost like, I don't know, maybe y'all like that. I didn't like that Black Republicans, Nas and Jay's joint. Like, I felt like every time they got together, it didn't mesh until American Gangster. Like, I felt like that was the Nas and Jay collab I was waiting for. Like, we get Nas and LL, two Queens legends, and I'm like, this is what we get? Right. You know, with the Murdergrams, I'm like sitting here like, did y'all listen to the first one? Or y'all just listen to Slim Shady? Like, this is what we're getting. Like, yo, what the fuck? And then the last joint, I don't know who these MCs are. These are some of the worst fucking MCs I've ever heard in my fucking life. I was literally listening to this, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck are we at the fucking Salvation Army? And then some nigga just start, who? It's like the album just falls apart. Like, after 30 Decembers, I'm with it up to 30 Decembers, but Run It Back, Huey in the Chair, Basquiat Energy, Praise Him, Murdergram, and The Vow just, it sinks it. And here's the thing, I give it 3.5. I give it 3.5, and it's really just based off of my expectations. I really thought Q-Tip and LL would give me a 5-mic class. I'll say this. Yeah, I'll say this. After this, I'm good on Tip. I am so good. Keep the Last Zulu. Whatever you've been doing, even at the end of Saturday Night Special when he's like humming, and I'm like, oh my, yo, nigga, stop. Like, I want a version of this where there's no Tip. I would rather there just be no choruses and just let the beat play for 8 bars, and I'll just pretend I make up my own chorus. That's the version of this album I need, where there is no Q-Tip rapping at all. I think I could even stomach the beats if Tip just wasn't here, but he just messes the shit up. But I give it 3.5 mics, and LL did his job. LL did his job. I want to make sure people hear that. LL being at this stage, I can't live without. My radio came out when I was fucking 11 in the 10th grade. I'm 50. Okay? So the fact that he's rapping at this level, at this age, LL did his job. He did his job. He did his job. I'm gonna
need a Praise Him remix, because they were rapping on that joint.
Nas to be killed it. Nas came in and just caught that groove and just killed it.
He went crazy, and when that song came, because that was the song I was looking forward to, of course. And when the beat came on, I'm like, nah, y'all ain't do that. I said, y'all ain't do that. And then L starts rapping. I'm like, okay. And then the chorus, I'm like, okay. And then Nas said something at the beginning, and I was like, what is he about? Is he about to be on some bullshit? And then he went crazy. Now, I will say this, and I'm interested to know what you two think since you're MCs. One of my peoples on Twitter was like, yo, and I agree with this. Not saying L did bad, but whenever somebody else is on the beat, I like them better riding the beat than I do LL. So the song with Busta, I'm like, I'm not feeling this shit at all. Then Busta gets on, and I'm like, oh, okay, hold on. Same thing with the Nas joint. I'm not feeling this shit at all. With L rapping, I'm like, oh, God. Then Nas gets on, I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. You know what I mean? So he was saying that it felt like the guest felt more in pocket than L did. Not saying L didn't kill it, but like I said, that whatever that shit was when Nas praised him, I was like, yo, this shit sounds horrible. I can't even get past the beat, even though L is spitting. But then when Nas comes in, I'm like, oh, okay, you got my attention. Or when Busta came in, I'm like, oh, okay. But yo, shouts to LL, the nigga lying like shit, talking about this is best album ever. I get it. You doing promo. You gotta lie like shit. It's all good, bro. No.
this is an incredible album for, like Rel said, for somebody who was rapping before he was even born to be able to do this. And at the end of the day, I always tell people, somebody said, hey, Kill, maybe LL wanted to make this album. And I said, by all means, exactly. If he wanted to make this album, that's great. You know, and Vague, you made a point that I wrote down too. LL always took chances. You know what I mean? Yeah. He took a chance with I Need Love. Going back to Cali, I remember when we heard that, we was like, yo, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I'm that type of guy. I hate that fucking song. Like, so L has always took chances to some extent. So maybe on this go round, he wanted to take chances. And that's cool. I said maybe this was his Electric Circus. You know, Khan wanted to take chances. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? You can do whatever the fuck you want. You just gotta deal with the consequences of the shit. You know what I mean? I tell my teens that all the time. They like, Miss Kill, you always tell us what to do. No, the fuck I don't. Do whatever the fuck you want. Jump off that roof. You just have to deal with the consequences of when you break your fucking leg and you fucking a paraplegic. You can do what you want. Walk out in front of 495 in front of all these cars doing 90 miles per hour. Do whatever the fuck you want. You just gotta deal with the consequences. Khan did what the fuck he wanted to do. He did Electric Circus, and that nigga is still living with the consequences of that fucking album. But this is no Electric Circus, because this is a good album. I like it. It's just this after 30 Decembers, it just goes there. I could stop at 30 Decembers. I could just stop. And it's Q-Tip's fault, not LL's fault. I want to keep making that known. LL did his fucking job. You know what I mean? I just wish there was another executive in the room.
I totally agree. The funny thing, the funny thing is when you said after 30 Decembers, my first listen, I remember I was listening, got to 30 Decembers, got done, and I had to do something. So I paused it, you know, did what I had to do, came back. And then after that, I was like, yo, am I listening to the same album? Like, yeah. It's just, you know, there were some good joints. It just became very hit or miss at that point.
My man said this wasn't. My man said this wasn't produced by Q-Tip. It was produced by Kamal Hancock. This motherfucker think he Herbie Hancock now. So, what's up, man?
I was gonna say that I think Q-Tip was putting too much abstract in it. You know what I'm saying? Like those hooks and stuff like that. I might be more inclined if it's his solo, because I'm sort of expecting some of that. But when it's LL and he's setting the tone for what you're listening to, it's weird to hear Q-Tip it's almost like a nigga that wasn't invited to be on the song. And he just decides, oh, I like what Busta and LL doing. I'm going to just throw my piece in there. Because you're right. I like that song. I like the beat. I like LL part. I like Busta's part. I like when they say the hook together. But then here's Q-Tip and it's like, yo, shut up, man. Like, it's okay. Just do the beat. Like, we know what to do.
Yo, he messed up Black Gold Sweet, bro. Like, I like that song.
I was loving that joint. I was loving Ella's killing it. He talking about the shorty cooking. He two-stepping in the shower. And here comes this motherfucker. And I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's the other problem. It's a bad chorus. No one can repeat it. And then I don't know what you're talking about. It's like 3 strikes you out, nigga. You've been in this game long enough. You wrote Check the fucking rhyme. You know how to write a chorus. This is not that.
And it switches, like the beat switches, and it goes into I don't know if that's an African artist, something like. I like that part. I don't like
that part too.
Me too.
Yo, that African artist should have been doing the hook over the whole entire song instead of Q-Tip.
There you go.
Bro, it's to the point when that part came on, I'm Shazamming it. Like, oh, who they sample for this? Because this is the song I want to listen to.
Right.
So, I feel, but at the end of the day, yo, salute to LL Cool J. Like I said, my brother, you did your job, you know. And again, you may have wanted some different sounding shit. Well, congratulations, nigga. You got some different sounding shit. And like Bro said, I love it. I love that it speaks to all of us differently. I know some people who was like, oh, this is a 5 mic classic. I know some people, one guy who was like, no, I love the beats. And we were going back and forth. And I was like, well, what you give it? He was like 3.5. I was like, nigga, I give it 3.5. So, you know what I mean? Like, even the people who love it, you know, so, but again, more importantly, I think L did an amazing job of, you know, showing he still got it. You know what I mean? And I commend him for that, you know, and still wanting to do this. I'm like Vegas, this is not making my top 5. I can tell you that right now. It don't make my top 5 right now. So I know it's not going to make my top 5 for the rest of the year. In fact, it's crazy. I didn't know Ransom and Conway had an album out. So I'm listening to LL, and then somebody tweeted to me. I'm like, oh, fuck this. Let me go put on Conway.
What came out this year? What came out this year that was fire? Man,
well, for me, and nobody else likes it, but I like Benny. Everybody Can Go. I do too. I got Calm. I got Calm, the Auditorium. I got Dog Pound. I got Free and Jake 1, and I got Marcialago. So right now, those are my top 5.
I got the Master Ace album on there. He had a dope album. That joint that I forgot his name, but dude did an album with Ninth Wonder, the Super Goat, the one ladies always talk about. Yeah, Hus Kingpin album. There's a few joints. There's a few albums that I'm probably missing.
Shit, me and Vay shit should be up there. Y'all talking about?
Oh, for sure.
Well, see, I can't name my shit, man. I need to. I'm always saying that, but I need to. Like, I need to do it. That's the difference. I don't have that personality. Like, and that's my problem. Like, Jay is like, I don't give a fuck if people ain't talking about me. Who the best MC? Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. Like, I'm gonna put my name in the hat. That's the personality I don't have, to put my name in the hat. You know what I mean? And I need to get better on that. Vay, what do you think of the Stove God?
I love it. I love it. I wish more people would just hear it. I mean,
have y'all heard it, Eddie?
I heard a lot because they took it down from that.
Even.
Yeah.
I'll send it to y'all tonight. I'll send it to y'all tonight.
I started to get into it, and then they took it down for some copyright stuff I heard.
Oh wow!
But
good looking, Kill.
Yeah, I was just texting y'all about it today. Y'all was like, nigga,
he's a star, bro. I'm sorry, bro. He's a star.
And the thing is I was so happy about this because I'm not gonna hold you. The last couple of Stove God verses, I wasn't loving like that. You know what I mean? I was like the joint he did with Benny with the 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I was like, I mean, it's cool. Like, I'm like, okay, this may have been the One Trick Pony, but this shit, nigga. And that Marvin Gaye song, yo, nigga.
I like this Stove God more than this Ransom and Conway joint because I feel like when I was hyped because I just did an episode where I called them 2 of the top 5 spitters right now. And I'm listening and I'm like, I feel like I'm doing math homework. Like, I don't, this is too much technical shit. I don't want to pay that much attention. So, I mean, everything sounds dope. They don't sound whack. It's just Stove God shit it's an improvement over Reasonable Drought. Like,
and he got drums too? And he got drums now? Like, nigga, I'm good.
Hey, Kill, speaking of albums, and you might have mentioned it, but I wanted to ask you, what do you think of that Killer Mike album? The one that he dropped at the price.
I thought it was cool, but it felt like it was like almost like outtakes, like because some of the songs was on the Michael album, but with different beats. It sounded like they were like demos. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, I liked it, but you know, I didn't save it to my phone because I felt like it sounded demos. You know what I mean? And it was just like Slummer. Like there was another version of Slummer that wasn't doper than the version on the Killer Mike album. You know what I mean? So I thought it was cool, but I to be honest, I've never been a big fan of like the Lost Tapes type shit unless, like, to me, the Nas Lost Tapes were so incredible because these were the songs that were supposed to make the album but didn't make the album because of sampling clearance. I feel like these are the demo versions of songs that didn't make the album, so they're really not as good. So I kind of feel like Nas's Lost Tapes kind of like skewed what the Lost Tapes is supposed to be. Like if me and Vegas just throw out some old demos we had from back in the day, I personally wouldn't want to do that because it's like they're not great. You know what I mean? And I felt like that's what Killer Mike kind of did. He kind of put out songs that were kind of like ideas. They were like, you know what I mean? Like I said, they were other versions of songs that made the album, but they weren't dope enough to make the album. The original Lost Tapes wasn't, these are songs that weren't dope enough to make the album. They were songs that were dope, but didn't make the album because of sample clearance.
So like, more like the untitled, unmastered. That
exactly. And which is why I think Lost Tapes 2 wasn't that great, because now these were songs that weren't dope enough to make the album, and we were waiting for Lost Tapes 1. Lost Tapes kind of screwed up everything, because it was like I said, now I would love more of those. Like, let's hear some Who shit that we didn't get because we couldn't clear the sample. Like Box in Hand, I think that's on Iron Man, right? Like, and there's an original version of that that's much better than the version that's on the album that didn't make it. And then there's something, is it Flowers? There was so much shit that was the watch that didn't make something because of sample clearance. There was something with Slick Rick that was crazy that didn't make a Ghost album because of sample clearance. Like, those are what I want. I really don't want the, like, these are our demos type shit. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was cool to hear how the song kind of, you know, grew. And it's like, oh, y'all ended up with that. But after one listen, it's like, I'm not going to go back and listen again. You know, it's just kind of like cool to see it. It's almost like when you used to get DVDs and they would show you like the behind the scenes or cut, you know, scenes that got cut. It's cool to watch once, but I'm not gonna go back and watch it again like that. I would watch the movie type thing. So, but yeah. All right, y'all. LL, man, LL. I wanted Ev to be here because Ev said that the LL album was gonna be the best album of all the producer MC collabos. And I spoke to him, and that nigga's definitely giving it less than 3.5. I can tell you that, because I can tell you that. Yeah, Eddie, let them know where they can get at you, good brother. What you could do. Oh, my bad.
What do y'all think about? Because it seemed like they about to just drop it now. We haven't heard anything, but Havoc and Meth, they have a whole album together or a project or whatever.
I'm intrigued, but I'm not excited. Just because I haven't probably heard a beat from Havoc that I really fucked with in years. Like, it may have to go back to maybe like Game's first album. I mean, he just looped Mary J. Blige. I mean, maybe Anthony Hamilton, not Jadakiss and Anthony Hamilton's Why. Like, there are beats I've heard from Havoc that are dope, but I haven't heard something that I was just like, God damn, like, from in Havoc in a while. But I mean, I'm interested, but I feel like it's like Q-Tip. Not as bad as Q-Tip, but it's almost like, you know, you say Havoc and Shook Ones comes to mind, but it's like, nigga, Shook Ones was 35 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, can Havoc still... Now, I did like a joint he did for Conway. I think it was like Conway, Lloyd Banks, and somebody, and Flea Lord. And then Havoc did the chorus. That beat was crazy. So I mean, I'm intrigued, but I'm not like super duper excited about it.
Now, Havoc did a joint, an album with Styles P a few years back, Wreckage Manor. I remember liking it, but then again, I don't really feel like it had that much staying power for me. You know,
right? And see, that's the problem. Like when I hear the name Havoc, I feel like we should be naming some beats. Like, we should be like, nah, Kill, you wrong. You don't remember the shit he did. Blah, blah, blah. Like, Kill, you don't remember. Like, I feel like that name garners that. Like, nah, Kill, you fucking bugging. That nigga did. But it's kind of like, yo, did he do? Did he? Like, I feel like that name shouldn't be at a point of where it's like, well, did he do? I can't remember. What was the name of the song he did for such and such? So, I don't know, babe. What you think? You right? Well, how is the song? Is the song they have out now dope? I haven't heard it.
No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, okay.
I just know he mentioned it before, and now lately, like, I saw a picture with them together. I think they were filming a video or getting ready to film a video.
Right.
So it's, you know, it's probably his next thing coming out. I think he did the production on that joint with Razkaz and RJ Payne also.
Yeah, the Everything Is Gutter,
which came out. Yeah. Now there's a song on that Styles P joint. I think it's called Pay Me.
Yeah.
That fucking beat is crazy. Like,
all right, let me check that joint.
It's crazy. Like, it's the only thing I remember from that album, even though it was cool. it's the album cover that probably made people be like, nah, they got the No Limit Fire Feet Mansion shit. What is this? Like, it don't even make any sense.
Right.
But
not the Gutter album is dope. The Gutter album was dope.
Bro, what you think? You hyped for this Meth and Half?
We'll see. I mean, I'll give it a chance, you know.
I think it's one of those joints, like, one of y'all gonna have to tell. Like, I wasn't gonna check for the Dog Pound album until Vegas. You was talking about how good it was, and then I went in on it. But without you saying that, I probably wouldn't even listen. Period. So I probably gonna need a cosign. But I mean, it's one of them things. Like, if it's out, I'm gonna listen to. Like, I think J. Rawls and Talib are dropping an album tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that album with Madlib was it was really good. I mean, it's a conscious now, but it was really good.
Yeah.
But it's just so much shit dropping, like.
Yeah, it's like left and right. Eddie, where can they get at you, good brother?
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter. So right down there at Eddie D80. You know, I'm having some fun on TikTok. No, I'm not doing no dances, but I am posting music and shit. So I think my handle is Low End Marauder, you know. So yeah, man.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. Vague, Bed-Stuy Vintage.
Bed-Stuy Vintage out right now on all music streaming platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube Music, but also VegasWorldInc.bandcamp.com. Not only can you hear that album, but you can hear all 6 projects that me and Kill worked on, which will be coming to other streaming services this year. I just got to sit my ass down and like do the work to transfer it over. But there's a couple of things too, and shout out to the homie Ott McLovin Beats. I'm also going to take the projects we did, like Testers and what's the other one? He Rhyme I Sing, and put those. I love
that album, yeah.
You do? Yeah, that was my.
He Rhyme I Sing. I like that shit.
That was my Ice Cube joint. And also, let me just say this real quick. Let me just soapbox, just real quick. So on the Testers joint, that was kind of our throwaways with one joint that was actually on the album, right? And I did one song called Happy Endings, about, you know, you go get a massage at certain spots and, you know,
right.
Happy ending. That was like my homage to a Ghostface type thing, the way I'm rhyming and all of that. But I did a song called Shame, which was it was flipping the Brooklyn Zoo beat. It's almost the same beat, but he did something a little bit different. I really can't articulate. It was originally supposed to be for Sean Price, but Sean Price never did anything with it. So, you know, I was like, well, let me get it. And because of the way I approached it, because, you know, it's the Brooklyn Zoo joint and ODB had passed and all of that. So I was kind of paying homage to him as well, some of the things I said. But his son was supposed to be on that record with me, because I had a in. And this is no slight against him or whatever, but I just remember it didn't work out because, you know, it was really bad. I never even got to hear it. That's how bad. That's what I was told. It was right. That bad. But I'm kind of mad it didn't happen anyway. Not because I'm trying to show him up. I'm a grown man or whatever.
Right.
But I like the idea of doing that type of record with ODB's son, regardless of what people would have thought about his verse. But it never happened. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna put those on
this joint right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. This joint is fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna. There's a lot of concepts in that joint. Like, you know, if you ever quit your job, I got a song in there called Swan Song. Listen to that one. But yeah, that's it. A lot of music for me and Kill that you'll also be able to access on digital streaming platforms. So.
All right, well, what's good, man?
Yeah, it's Not You, It's Me. Again, produced by my man Kill. Got my man Vegas featured on there. My man Evans Christ featured on there. and it's on all streaming platforms. And listen, man, like, you know, I'm really pleased with this and proud of the way it came out. And again, it was a little something different than what I usually do. And I had the idea. Me, Kill, and JR, we met, brainstormed it, and it came out like almost perfect at what I wanted it to sound like. You know what I'm saying? And every time I talk about it, I'm gonna name a song for people to just go listen to, and I'm gonna say, go listen to a song called "Not Right." And "Not Right" is it just basically touch on like the way we treat each other in relationships, the way we go through certain things, and how we react, and how we don't understand each other. You know what I'm saying? And just go listen to "Not Right," and if you've been in a relationship, which all of us have, you'll understand, and it'll hit home for you. It's on all streaming platforms, and my Bandcamp is Jarrell215.bandcamp.com.
All right. Man, I just love cooking up music with y'all, man. It's a blessing to be able to work with dope MCs, and it's dope to hear, bro, that, like you said, it ended up the way you wanted it to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and I want to say too, like, you know, again, it was a lot of criticism thrown at Q-Tip. Before y'all get started, I'm not hating on Q-Tip. That's the problem. It's not hate. You know, it's like I said, his voice is just irritating as fuck to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. That's just it. That's not hate. That's the truth for me. You may still like it. But when Ralph said he wanted to do something different, we just went into it from a different place. Similar to when Vegas wanted to do Willmatic. I sent different beats. They picked different things. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna hear a lot of beats on here to me that don't sound like your average Kill beats, because we wanted to go in a different way. So different don't always gotta be weirdo, abstract, what the fuck type shit. It can just be different than what you're used to. To me, Why was a very different beat than Shook was, but to me that shit still banged. You know what I mean? I would have never thought Havoc did that beat, because it doesn't sound like your average Havoc beat. It still was dope though. Y'all know what it is with me, Kill 89 Twitter, IG. They told you about the albums. Backwoods Sweetie finishing up her album now. Had a real dope a video shoot. Got shout out to Tajay from Souls of Mischief. I'm still stuck on Stupid that this nigga is on the album. I'm even more stuck on Stupid. He literally flew off tour. Like, this nigga pulled up to the video shoot with a huge body bag, a duffel bag of just being on tour, and flew out here to do the video with us. So definitely shout to that. Definitely check that out. And I will check y'all next week, good people.